welcome everybody here to the Rockland Police Department. What a truly momentous occasion in the history of our department, that being the retirement of one of Rockland's best, Chief John Llewellyn. As has been the tradition here at the Rockland Police Department, in a few moments, Chief Llewellyn will walk through these two doors behind me, closing the book on a storied law enforcement career spanning 34 years, but also opening another chapter in his life as he moves into retirement. I want to thank you all for being here today and sharing in this moment, which also happens to be the Chief Llewellyn's birthday. So, we're going to have Chief Llewellyn just move off to the side just for a minute while we reflect a little bit about a very distinguished career as a Rockland officer. John began his career on April 19th, 1988 as a permanent intermittent working in uniform part-time. He joined the full-time ranks in 1994 and graduated from the police academy at the top of his class. In 1996, he was appointed a member of the Detective Bureau, working a variety of complicated and challenging cases, including larcenies, assaults, you name it. But he always found a way to remain upbeat, positive, always going that extra mile to see each issue through to the end. He was quickly promoted to the rank of sergeant in 1999, and then detective sergeant shortly thereafter. In 2004, he was appointed to the position of deputy police chief, and then ultimately to the position of Chief of Police in 2006, and has served in that role for 17 years. Other than climbing the ranks of the RPD, John enjoyed a number of leadership roles and accomplishments, including unit commander of the Metro Motorcycle Unit, Special Response Team Leader, and graduate of the prestigious FBI National Academy, just to name a few. All the while, still finding time to raise money for Cops for Kids with Cancer by running 7 Boston marathons or realizing personal goals like climbing Mount Kilimanjaro in Africa and exploring the Appalachian Trail. Again, just a few examples of the accomplishments and personal goals that Chief Llewellyn has achieved over the years. And something tells me that there is still more to come for John in his retirement, because as the saying goes, you can't retire from being great. At this time, I'd like to call to the podium Town Administrator Doug Lapp just to say a few words.
Thank you, everyone. Let me begin by saying that the Chairman of the Board of Selectmen, Michael Laughlin, did plan on being here today, but due to a family issue that's just come up, he's unable to attend, and he's deeply disappointed, so I wanted to let you know that. Thank you for having me speak. I do want to thank the Chief for his 34 years of service to the Rockland Police Department and the community as a whole, half of that time as Chief, as the Lieutenant said. Specifically, I want to recognize a number of things. First, his incredible knowledge and command of the job. His leadership, and as a result of that leadership, several things, including high morale in the department, which you see standing right next to us. And that high morale doesn't happen by accident. His strong budget management, which may not be glamorous to outsiders, but it's critical for the department to be able to operate effectively. His regional work, as the Lieutenant said, assisting Boston and other cities and towns with the Regional Metropolitan Law Enforcement Council Motorcycle Unit, which you can see stationed in the back and behind our department here. And that's a very difficult job, as we all know. He has tremendous respect from his peers, and more importantly, he and the department have tremendous respect from the entire Rockland community. He's left a strong legacy by putting the right people in the right places and building a succession team within the department, which is another sign of strong leadership. So I'm sorry that I'm not going to be able to work with him longer than the 3 years that we've worked together, but I do want to wish you a strong congratulations on a very distinguished career. I wish you the best of luck in your retirement. So with that, I'm going to present the Chief with a certificate on behalf of the board and myself. And it reads, in recognition of 34 years in the Rockland Police Department, April 19th, 1988 to September 16th, 2022, our community extends to you its heartfelt thanks and appreciation for your tremendous dedication, tireless leadership and efforts on behalf of the town of Rockland, Massachusetts, this September 16th, 2022.
Thank you very much, Doug. At this time, I'd like to ask State Representative Dave DeCoste to the podium.
I see the DA smiling at me, waiting for me to say I will be brief, and I will be brief. Fellow citizens, men and women of the Rockland Police Force, and fellow colleagues in government, I will be brief, but on this type of occasion, it always is appropriate to say a few words. And I'll begin, first of all, I congratulate Chief Llewellyn on a job well done. For those of you who are familiar with my background, I spent a few years in the Army. And with that, I will say one thing one picks up pretty quickly is whether a unit is well run, the outfit is squared away, and the type of leadership they have. And I can tell you that since I was sworn in, and I think I mentioned a little before then, 2015, one thing that stood out about the Rockland Police in general and your leadership in particular was that it is a well-run, well-disciplined, and well-respected, and that's important, unit. And there really are, from all of you in the service, this is a cliche, but it's true. There really are no bad units, there are only bad leaders. And this is an excellent unit. And you had an excellent leader, and I don't have to tell any of you that, and all of you in the public. And I'll tell you, the military missed something. We should have grabbed you long ago. You would have been a brigade commander anyway. There you go. Well, we let go of you. That was our first mistake. All I could say, and I would be very brief, is I know you've got, and you've groomed as a good leader would, an excellent second in command to come up, and a great chain of command, and you've trained a great bunch of officers. So thank you, and then this is where I feel very free in saying thank you on behalf of Governor Baker, Lieutenant Governor Polito, President Spilka, and we'll have a little bit from Speaker Mariano and myself. Thank you from the community as a whole. Thank you not only for choosing this profession, but doing so well, and that I'm sure there are dozens of other things you thought about doing and could have done. But a true son of Rockland, Holy Family graduate, then to South Shore Votech, and then on to outstanding, a little time in the Army. And there you go. What more could you ask? And also congratulations to your family and your loved bride, who always makes me feel so guilty for not doing my PT as I should. The Commonwealth of Massachusetts House of Representatives, be it hereby known to all that the Massachusetts House of Representatives offers its sincerest congratulations to Chief John R. Llewellyn in recognition of your 34 years of service to the people of Rockland and the South Shore community as a member and leader of the Rockland Police Department. The entire membership extends its very best wishes and expresses the hope for good fortune and continued success in all your endeavors stated today, signed by Speaker Mariano and myself. Congratulations.
Thank you very much for those kind words, Dave. At this time, I'd like to call to the podium Plymouth County District Attorney Timothy Cruz.
Thanks so much. It's great to be here today on a real great day for Chief Llewellyn and his family. And it's great to see such a great turnout. I think that really means a lot when you come to an event like this and you see all the men and women that are standing over there, all the active chiefs that are over here, and retired chiefs who have come because you meant an awful lot to their lives. And being a police chief nowadays is not easy. Being a police officer is not easy. All these men and women here today that have that job can attest to that. But every day they get up, and every day they go forward, and every day they try to keep people as safe as they can. And I agree with what Representative Coach just said. It is about leadership. It is about the person in charge who can say what we can do as a unit to go forward and to make sure that we can all remain safe. And Rockland has been that bastion of decency, that bastion of people who keep them safe together, and a lot of it is because of Chief Llewellyn. I've been the DA now for 21 years, and I have dealt with many different chiefs. And I can honestly say that in dealing with Chief Llewellyn, whenever he and I talked, it was never about problems, it was always about how can we resolve something. There's something going on here, what can we do to make sure we can get to the end of the road and make sure, most importantly, that the right thing happens, whatever that may be. Let the chips fall where they may. And that's what a leader is, making difficult decisions and going forward from there. And that's why I'm so glad to be here today. I'm so glad to be here today, looking at the chain of command, the next step with Chief Llewellyn coming on board. And I know that Rockland is in good hands and will continue to be so, as it has been for the last 17 years, as it has been for the last 34 under the workings of Chief Llewellyn before he's even chief. He has made a difference in this community. So from the DA's office, we have a Distinguished Service Award, the Plymouth County DA's Distinguished Service Award. Presenting it today, Chief John Llewellyn of the Rockland Police Department, the recognition of 34 years of outstanding service to the citizens of Plymouth County, the Commonwealth of Massachusetts, and also for his dedication and leadership of the men and women of the Rockland Police Department. I thank you for the work that you've done, and also for the work that I know you're going to continue to do to keep us all going. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Tim. At this point, I'd like to ask State Senator John Keenan to the podium.
Good afternoon, everybody. It's an honor to be here to bring you the greetings of the Massachusetts State Senate and the congratulations from the Massachusetts State Senate. Chief, the work that you've done over the years is truly remarkable. My brother is a police chief, and when he first went on the job, my mother, who is the daughter of a Boston police officer who was shot in the line of duty, a Medal of Honor winner, and she was the granddaughter of a Boston Police Department Medal of Honor winner. And she gave my brother two pieces of advice. Never take anything, because then they own you. But most importantly, she said, when you accept that badge, you become a police officer 24 hours a day. And I know for the young police officers, the days are full of your shifts and then details. And Chief, you did all of that. And then as you rise through the ranks, you take on different responsibilities. And when you become chief, it may seem like you walk through the door in the morning, and then you walk out late afternoon, early evening, and that may be it. But when you have that badge, especially the badge of chief, you are chief 24 hours a day. When you're at home, you know that you can take a call any moment to tell you that something has happened in town, and you have to be ready. When you're at home, you're going over, I'm sure, on your computer, the calls that come in during the night, or when you wake up the first thing in the morning, that's what you do. It is truly a 24-hour-a-day job, and to do it as long as you have done it, and to do it with the professionalism that you have displayed is truly remarkable. So Chief, thank you. From the Massachusetts State Senate, for myself personally, thank you for everything that you have done for this great department and for this great community. I'd like to present you with this citation from the Massachusetts State Senate. Be it known that the Massachusetts Senate hereby extends its congratulations to Chief John R. Llewellyn in recognition of your retirement from the Rockland Police Department after over 3 decades of outstanding service to the people of Rockland, Massachusetts. Be it further known that the Massachusetts Senate extends its best wishes for continued success, that this citation be duly signed by the President of the Senate and attested to, and a copy thereof transmitted by the Clerk of the Senate. Signed the 16th day of September by Senate President Karen Spilka, Clerk of the Senate Michael Hurley, myself, John Keenan. Chief, thank you very much. May your retirement with your family be long and healthy.
Thank you very much, Senator Keenan. At this point, I'd like to ask Middleborough Police Chief Joe Perkins to come to the podium from the Massachusetts Chiefs of Police Association.
Chief John Llewellyn, Senior Chief of Plymouth County, friend and mentor to all in Plymouth County. However, he is, honestly, I can say, a friend of mine. I was fortunate enough to be selected to attend the FBI Academy in 2010, and the day I went to Boston to get ready and figure out what we were going to do, I got to find out who the other Massachusetts person was that I was going to the academy with. And I showed up at the FBI headquarters in Boston, and I see this guy standing next to me, and I'm looking at him, and I'm like, oh, my wife was with me, I'm like, I think that's the chief from Rockland. I'm like, look at the guy. I mean, he's a pretty intimidating figure. I mean, I think it's the white mustache that identifies you clearly to anybody, but that kind of put a damper on my elation of being able to go, because I was a sergeant at the time, and I have to go and spend the next 3 months with the chief. That's kind of a downer. But it was really a fortunate event because we got to be close. We got to be a friend. He is a mentor to all the other chiefs in the area as the senior chief in Plymouth County. The day I was named chief, my first day, the first place I came was to Rock. I had to get my uniform squared away. Thanks, Sherry. But that's why I came to Rockland. I wanted to be with a guy that mentored me and that I looked up to and I respected, and I will always be in debt to you for the leadership and guidance you've given me as a chief. So in Plymouth County, we have a little long-running joke, and we talk about uniforms and how we look and what we wear to meetings, and it's really kind of strange the way we operate. But if you notice, chiefs in Plymouth County wear 4 stars on their shoulders. The long-standing joke is some chiefs didn't know when they first got to be made chief what they're supposed to wear. So as a result of that little misunderstanding long ago, when a chief finally does retire in good standing, he is finally awarded that 5th star. So from the Plymouth County Chiefs, I have Chief John Llewellyn's 5th Star Award, the Plymouth County Chiefs Association's 5th Star Award presented to Rockland Police Chief John Llewellyn, past president of Plymouth County Chiefs, for his leadership, dedication, and service, dated September 16, 2022, my friend.
Thank you very much, Chief Perkins. So, without further ado, and certainly the man of the hour, Chief John Llewellyn.
Thank you. And I want to say I'm truly humbled by the turnout here today. It's humbling, I guess. For an attorney to get tongue-tied, that's not an easy thing to do. But I truly appreciate everybody being here, friends, family, people from New Hampshire all the way down. I truly appreciate you all coming here today. Now, of course, I need to start out by thanking my lovely wife, Sue. Who would have known 20-something years ago when she walked into the old police station, what an adventure and what a life that we would have together from that day forward. So, to my adventure partner, climbing mountains in Africa, to spending time, as was already mentioned, on the trail and marathon after marathon. I hope we're done, but I love you, I appreciate you, and thank you for being here. my daughter Ashley. We can all imagine, and all of us in this business that have family, we all know it's very difficult to have children in this profession. The children are always worried about you, and for 32 years, Ashley has been the daughter of a cop. She's not only been the daughter of a cop, but she's been the daughter of a cop in Rockland. She went to Rockland High School back in the days when Rockland was a pretty busy place. And so we spent a lot of time making arrests and trying to do the right thing to help clean up the town. And Ashley survived all of those days and years in Rockland High School. And I'm proud to say she's my daughter. But I want to tell you just a little thing about Ashley that I am so glad I'm retiring today. So if you would, just stick with me. Picture the beautiful blue sky. Picture the field with the grass waving back and forth, blowing in the breeze. The puppy in the back seat of a car, sticking its head out the window with the ears flapping. We would go to lunch and Ashley would ask me, "Hey Dad, is it quiet today?" All hell would rain down on Rockland the minute that she asked that question. The car would get into an accident, the kid on the swing set would fall, it would start to rain and thunder. So, Ashley, please, have at it. I'm done. That's all you do. To my command staff, these guys have been with me. They've been my backbone for the last 12 and 13 years. This is not about me being the chief of the hour or anything like that. It's about the department. It's about the leadership team. It's about the acceptance by the department of what we do and what we move forward with. So I can't thank you guys enough. I wouldn't have been successful without you, and I appreciate you guys the most. And finally, people talk about how it seems cliche, the blue family or the thin blue line and all of that. I'm here to tell you it's not. And I finally figured out this past week how it is not a cliche, how we actually do become a family. Because you see, we have retired guys here, past and present officers, everyone that's here today. At one point, all of us were strangers. We never knew each other. But through some method, path, or whatever, we became members of the Rockland Police Department. We got hired. And this is sworn and civilian. And for those sworn officers, we went off to a police academy. And in that police academy, we learned discipline. And we went through the same very difficult things together. The physical fitness test, examination after examination, constitutional law, criminal law, motor vehicle law, blah, blah, blah. But we all survived that. And then we came back and we put on the gun, the uniform, and the same badge and patch that say Rockland Police. Well, we're not necessarily brothers or sisters yet, but we're co-workers. Now, as Rockland police officers, we have a front row seat to the best three-ring circus on earth. And that three-ring circus is the good, the bad, and the ugly. So we do get some good. We get the community events, we get to go out and help people. The little old lady crossing the street, we get to help her across the street. The poor motorist stranded that doesn't know how to change a tire, these guys have all done that. So that's the good. And there's plenty bad that we have to deal with as well. And unfortunately, there are politicians that want to spin it, none present, that there really aren't that much bad. There isn't that much bad out there. But I'm here to tell you there is. Bad right here in our community. And these men and women deal with that bad every single day. When we get a call for service, we go. Shoulder to shoulder, we go in, take out the bad guy, bad woman, whatever we have to do, we deal with that bad, we fix the situation to the best of our ability, and we move on. Unfortunately, there's also the ugly. The ugly is the really bad stuff that we have to deal with. It's the sudden deaths. It's the car accidents with some real severe injury. It's seeing a child who's a victim of violent crime. So we deal with that as well, in that three-ring circus we call life. By virtue of doing that, shoulder to shoulder, coming back into the roll call room, going home, visiting with your family, doing your thing, but taking a shower, putting that uniform back on, and doing the exact same thing again the next day to serve the citizens of this community, that's what makes us brothers and sisters. I knew it would happen. Damn. So I'm proud to say that these are not necessarily co-workers, they're not subordinates, they're friends and the family. And I will always consider all of you my family. And I thank you for that. I thank you for allowing me to be a part of it. Thank you.
So as part of our tradition here, we always give our retired officers the opportunity to say one final farewell to their fellow brother and sister officers who are here today. So at this time, we're going to give Chief Llewellyn an opportunity to go down and say a couple of words to his fellow officers and wish him well.
Detail, action, hut, praise and on. Ready, to parade west.
We're going to ask Chief Llewellyn to come up for one final presentation. And this is from the entire Rockland Police Department. Chief Llewellyn, with great honor and recognition and appreciation for over 34 years of devoted service to the men and women of the Rockland Police Department, we will always be grateful for your dedication and leadership. May the next chapter of your life be full of adventure. April 19th, 1988 through September 16th, 2022.
All right, so that was only speech number one. No, actually, I just want to congratulate Nick Zioli, the next chief of the Rockland Police Department, and I know as I leave that the department's in better hands than I had it. So he's going to take this place to great places, great training, and I know you're in good hands. Thank you.
So how about one more round of applause for Chief Llewellyn? Thank you very much, everybody. That concludes our ceremony. Have a good day.